Hello, I'm Jar Reality, and welcome to the Reality Self-Protection channel. I'm a fist load specialist, self-protection analyst, writer, advisor, and lifelong practitioner. I believe in never leaving my home without carrying a minimum of 4 different self-protection tools on my person. These tools vary based on the situation, as certain environments require different levels of discretion or mobility. Carrying something for self-preservation isn't about convenience, it's about commitment. You carry because you understand that what you have could be the deciding factor between going home safely or not surviving a violent attack. There's a lot of misinformation about self-defense on the internet, and most of it is useless in real-world violent encounters. When someone's trying to harm you in the street, there's no referee to stop the fight, and no padded ring to soften the blows. In the real world, your safety isn't guaranteed. Violent situations can quickly turn deadly, as humans are fragile. That's why I've moved away from focusing solely on martial arts and hand-to-hand combat. In my experience, the majority of violent encounters involve weapons, whether they're premeditated or improvised. As James Keating wisely once said in the Riddle of Steel documentary by Lee Basham, humans are tool-using monkeys. With that in mind, I choose to carry tools that can protect my well-being. I always carry a minimum of 4 self-protection tools, and I operate under the philosophy of carrying a first lethal, second lethal, less lethal, and a last lethal option. Let me explain. For my first lethal option, I typically carry either a gun or a fixed-blade knife. My most frequent choices are my G3C 9mm or the Cold Steel Mini Leatherneck Double Edge. While I support the Second Amendment, I'm not passionate about guns. I don't feel the need to carry one all the time, but I understand that in a gunfight, having a firearm can mean the difference between life and death. Still, I hope I never have to use one. Protecting my family is my priority, and that's why I own firearms, because criminals will always have them, regardless of the law. Knives, however, have always been my preference. I've carried knives since I was a kid, starting with a red Swiss Army knife. Today, my primary knife is the Cold Steel Mini Leatherneck Double Edge. Cold Steel offers excellent quality at an affordable price, and this knife is highly effective. Imagine the damage an attacker can do with a cheap, flimsy knife. Now consider the potential of a well-crafted, fixed double-edged blade in a similar scenario. For my second lethal option, I carry another blade, currently a Cold Steel folding knife. Though it has some design flaws, such as a poorly designed thumb hole for deployment, I've found this to be an advantage in legal contexts. If I ever had to defend myself in court, the knife's slow deployment could make it seem less aggressive. Despite its shortcomings, I use this knife for everyday tasks and trust it as part of my self-protection arsenal. When it comes to less lethal options, I'm a fan of pepper spray. I've carried Sabre pepper spray for years, and it's by far the most effective brand I've encountered. I've accidentally been sprayed by it once. It was a terrible experience, but it did exactly what it's designed to do. I highly recommend Sabre to anyone looking for a reliable non-lethal option. Additionally, I always carry a fist load for hand-to-hand situations, as I specialize in these types of tools. I rotate between a variety of options, such as my own RSP handler, the Kelly Worden Travel Wrench, the Comtech Stinger 2, and the Cold Steel Koga SD2. I prefer to avoid hand-to-hand conflict if possible, but if it's unavoidable, I won't risk breaking my hands in a fight that I didn't start. Lastly, let's talk about my last lethal option. This is my final line of defense when all else has failed, and it looks like I might not make it home. I carry a SOG Instinct neck knife, which rarely leaves my neck. It's the perfect size for neck carry and fits comfortably in my hands despite its small profile. While I'm not a huge fan of SOG knives in general, the Instinct is exceptional. If I had to choose only one knife for self-protection, this would be it. To wrap up, these tools provide me with a layered approach to self-protection, ensuring that I'm prepared for a wide range of potential threats. Whether lethal or less lethal, each tool plays an essential role in keeping me and my family safe. Always remember that everything is a concept and theory until you prove it to be a fact for yourself out in the real world. And that's just the reality of things. But as most legitimate self-protection experts would advise, when you can, it's best just to walk away. Once again, I'm Reality. Thank you for watching this video on the Reality Self-Protection channel.